welcome back to the Board Game Closet. My name's Jimmy.
I'm Tim.
I'm Rod.
And today we're going to be taking a look at Space Movers. This is put out by K&A Games. Plays 2 to 7 people in about an hour to 2 hours. So let's take a look and see what you get in the box. Okay, so this is what you get in the box with Space Movers. Rod, do you want to talk about the components?
Yeah, first thing is you get a ton of components for the game, and all the components are great. So we'll start off with the board. The board itself is just fantastic. The artwork, it's a nice big board, nice graphics. It's just really nice. I mean, this is something that I don't know, when you play certain games, you want something that's going to pull you in. They did a good job just with the board itself on this. You've got the caricatures, I guess, of each one of the characters that you're actually going to play. And these kind of like Pixar a little bit, you know, kind of like how their stuff is. And it's darn neat. Whoever did all the artwork on it did a great job. Even the box is used in the game, so that's really cool, and it gives you a map for it. There's no complaints on anything. The cardstock's fine. These tokens right here, they're all good, and you get plenty of dice, different dice for each of the characters, and of course your artwork's here on the tokens, so you know which planet. When you're on a planet, you place yourself. But anyway, all in all, the components are fantastic.
Okay, Tim, do you want to talk to us about the rules and how hard or easy it is to learn this game?
Sure. The rule book, actually 2 books come with this game. One of them is actually like a story comic book that kind of gives you like the background information to the whole universe. So in case you really want to get into the theme, you can if you want to. The other book is the instruction booklet, the rule book. It's pretty simple. They do this great job here, the setup, to show you where all the pieces go. They also do the thing where every piece is numbered, and it tells you what you're doing with them and what their name is. So when they refer to it later on, you can figure out what they're talking about. Which at first, it seems like it's going to be pretty complex. But once it goes over the basic mechanic of the game, the rest of it just builds around it. So this game does a great job of explaining it. First time around, I had no issues figuring out how to play. They take you step by step on everything, and then just explain all the little nuances to the game. So easy instruction booklet, has a great reference sheet on the back, which is the only thing you'll probably look at after you read through the instruction booklet one time.
Awesome. Good job. Okay, so let's give you a quick overview of how to play the game so that you can figure out if this is going to work for you and your gaming group. So in Space Movers, each person is going to get a character card, and this is a co-op game, so you're going to be working together to try to reach the objective. So each person gets a character card, and it tells them the special skills that they have. So there's a couple skills that everybody has, and then there's one that's unique to your character. And so as you're going around the universe trying to complete objectives, you're going to have requirements where you are going to have to roll dice into the box here to complete a skills check. And so you get to decide who goes on that mission with you. If it's your turn, you always go, and then you get to pick other people that can go with you. And so you're going to be rolling dice into this box, which I think is cool. They even give you this extra little one that you can put right there so that the box is in the middle of the table. And so this is the coolest part about this game. And this is the main mechanic. So basically, you get to roll your dice into the box, and if you don't like your result, the next person, Space Movers, gets to throw their dice into the box, and they can hit your dice, and if they knock it over and get to what you need to, then that works. And then the very last thing is this blank die that's only used for changing dice that are in the box already. So you get one more chance to throw it in the box and knock the dice to complete the skills check. And so every single objective, in order to complete it, all has to do with the dice. And so that's the basic mechanic of the game. So on your turn, you can do a couple things. The first thing that you do is you are going to draw a card. And this could be an event card, or this could be a, what's the other one called?
A UO Pursuit.
UO Pursuit, or Cargo. So those are the 3 types of cards that you can get. And so you get an event card and you play that out onto the board, and this is something that you can accomplish. This can be good or bad. And then UO Pursuit, UO are the bad guys in the game. And so if you do not stop them, then they will start moving towards you. And so you can complete that and knock them out, and then they won't pursue you. But that's another card that could come out on the table. And then another one that you could get is Cargo. So this has a little bit of pickup and delivery in the game, where you'll be going around the game, going to certain planets. You'll be picking up cargo and then dropping them off. And when you do that, it's really simple. It gives you resources, because every turn that you take, you're going to drop 1 resource. And so if you get down to the bottom, you lose the game. And so not only are you flying around trying to complete these objectives, but you're also trying to keep your resources in check. So it's a balance of running from the UO or defeating them, completing your events, trying to finish the objectives, and taking care of your resources so that you don't run out of gas. So the objectives run through in kind of a comic book fashion, where basically once you complete one, it might tell you to flip the card over and then something else happens, or that could just be the end of it, and then you go on to the next objective. And I believe there's 4 objectives?
5 objectives.
5 objectives every single game. And so as you complete those, that's how you win the game. If you complete the 5th objective, then you do that. So there's a few other little things in the game, but that's the basic idea. The catch to this game really is the dice mechanic, where you're able to throw the dice, and kind of you'll find out instantly as soon as you get into that part of the game, people stand up and lean over the box, and they want to see how you do. And then when you totally miss, everybody laughs and moans, and stuff like that. And so that's really the coolest part of this game, is how you play with the dice. So. Okay, so that's a basic overview of how to play Space Movers, and let's talk about our thoughts on the game.
Sure. Well, I think the dice part of it is awesome. It's one of the, there's just every once in a while in those games when you get that moment, everybody's like, gets excited, and then everyone's cheering and stuff afterwards. And when that thing happens where like 2 dice have to change numbers, and the guy does it just right, knocks it off and bounces, and we get our 5s that we wanted, and we're all excited. That is a neat aspect of the game.
Yeah, it really is.
I think they did a great job with that. And whoever came up with that one, fantastic. Kudos.
So, yeah, I just liked the theme. Obviously, I'm a space themed guy, so I love space themes. And so that pulled me in, and the characters are familiar without being the exact characters that you're probably thinking that they are. And so I like that. I don't know, the other side of me wishes that this was an IP and that this had, a certain one, because it fits with these, like Star Trek. I mean, like it would be so amazing, but it's still good, it's still great. And to be honest with you, I don't know, maybe this is even a knock against the Firefly game, because, this could be in that same world, and probably it plays so quick, plays so easy. It's not complicated. You still have the pick up and deliver like what you do in that game, but you get this action-packed dice game. It's co-op. I don't know. So to me, I don't know. That could be I don't know. So that's just a nod for me, and he can disagree. So what do you think?
I think the game does a really good job of having 7 players playing the game, and everybody is playing all the time. Mm-hmm. Instead of a lot of times, it's like I take my turn, you take your turn, so forth, so on. It's when it's your turn, you're picking all these other people to play with you during your turn, because you got to do the skill check. Mm-hmm. So it does a great job of getting everybody involved, and everybody's watching and seeing what's happening inside the dice thing.
Right.
So I don't totally agree with that. I think I agree with that when it comes to the dice rolling and stuff. That pulls everybody into the game. But the problem that I have with the game is that this is one of those games that if somebody knows the game better than everyone else, they can take over the game quickly. And if you have that type of group where you have one person who's picks up games faster than others, they have a tendency where they can try to take over the game. So what happens is, this is a situation I think in all gaming, but this particular game lends to it so easily because the characters themselves aren't identified. They're not unique enough. There's a couple things, but all in all, Tim can sit there and know exactly what we need to do with this character, this character, this character, this character. Because there's just not enough uniqueness to each part of it.
Well, I think that to me it was that it's such a puzzle sometimes figuring it out that it almost comes to well, this is what we need to do, you know. So that's what it kind of ends up being, and that was a negative that I felt too. I totally agree with what you're saying, because it's like, okay, we have to go here and here and drop that off there and then come back. Yes, we all agree. That means that you do this and you do that and you do this. You know?
And then that for me takes the game out, because I kind of felt that the game dragged at times because of that. Whereas when we're playing Firefly or something, you're independently doing your thing. And I understand this is a co-op game, and a lot of co-op games suffer from this. But I think of like XCOM, one game that does not suffer from that. You know, 'cause you're just so concentrated on your own little thing, and you're working on. No one else has time to even mess with your portion of it.
Right.
And this doesn't. I love spaceships, and the whole thing I love about games like this is thinking, I'm the navigator. I'm responsible for this, and this. It just wasn't enough of that. But you know.
Well, you got to think too that all of it is a setup for getting the dice. Remember, it's all about that dice roll.
I'll admit the dice part
check.
of it is fantastic. I mean, it's just incredible.
So, I mean, it's all right to have a captain of a starship that leads the group to their next skill check and stuff like that. So everybody gets to feel like they're taking part in the skill check, but not necessarily planning the ship movement around.
Right, but I think the negative to that is just I don't like being told what to do on my turn. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? Because then I just feel like, okay, I went here and there, and then my turn's over. So that's the only thing that I agree with about. So yeah. Okay, well, let's give our rating on Space Movers. So at the end of our reviews, we like to give a 1-die rating. Should you buy it, play it, or hate it? So green means go buy this game and add it to your collection. White means maybe you wouldn't buy it, but you definitely play it. And then red means you wouldn't buy it and you wouldn't play it because you hate it. So we all get our die, and we put it out there and reveal. Green, white.
Shocker.
Okay, so you start then. Tell us the white.
Well, just exactly what we were talking about. So, you know, when it comes to that portion of it, it was just enough to say, okay, I'll play it, but I won't buy it. The rest of it is fantastic. The artwork, I can't criticize much about the game.
Yeah.
But that aspect of the game does take me out of it, and it makes me want to, do I want to sit here and play 2 hours, 3 hours in a game that I don't have a lot of control over?
Right.
Because that's kind of, because it did seem like to me that it was, even if it was his plan or your plan, there wasn't much more options we had. It seemed like we just had pretty much that was our option. You know, it just seemed like there's a lot more we could do about it. So that was the only thing, but I'll admit that the dice rolling part of it's fantastic.
It really is.
Artwork and the board. I mean, a lot of it's just very, very good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's me. You know what you're saying just then is why I'd say give it a green, just because of that aspect. And so I would like to see. I don't know. I just think it's such a cool concept. We didn't talk about this, but they even have boards that you can put in there that have spots on there that are like automatic fails or automatic success or automatic injuries, and so you can flip these and exchange these in the box. So that adds a whole nother dimension to the game that kind of adds complexity to it. Where now it's not just what I'm rolling, but it's where I'm rolling, and stay away from that corner and things like that. And I think that I saw where they're even doing some expansions for this, and there's one that I saw where every single corner was an X, you know, and so that takes out your ricochet. Yeah. So that takes it out. So I don't know. That to me is pretty cool. So that's why I gave it a green.
Yeah, I like the complexity of the game, or like of the skill checks, and then they give you the options. Like you have the reaction cards. They give you extra effects wherever they can help you out, like the card that you can put inside there, and anybody that leaves their dice on that card, that's automatic success for their dice. So that's pretty cool. And the fact that the constant resource is going down and is pressuring you to get the objectives done, and there's only 5, so you can get them done and get them pretty quick. And then they have this one that has the Kickstarter story in it, but there's also just the normal storyline on it, and then there's random objectives. So you just pull 5 random objectives if you want to, and then play that out instead. So it's not the same game over and over again where you're just constantly going in the same route. So there's that. So it adds a little extra. But the point is, it is the skill dice roll game with all this extra fluff added into it. Just kind of that's why I gave it a green, because it had a great game, great mechanic, and then they just built around it. And that's how games should be done.
And real quick, I'd also say that at the beginning when I heard that you had to do the dice thing, I thought it was going to be stupid. I really thought this is silly. Yeah. And then it was like, wow,
That's cool, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, because you're right. As soon as you lean up there and you got to make your throw, then it's like, or then when somebody else is going to make their throw and you're like, oh no, oh no,
Jared.
So, all right, so that's our review of Space Movers put out by KNA. So thanks for watching our reviews. We've got a lot more on our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, website, all that stuff. And as always,
support your local game store.